Guys, welcome to the LikeMinde Mastermind Podcast. It's the third episode. I'm here with Lucas Home.
Hi, brother.
Well-known rapper in Miami and, all over, right? We just met up at the gym and seemed like a cool dude. And I was like, that guy looks pretty interesting. So we just introduced ourselves and found out he was a rapper, which was pretty cool. I was kind of random. I was like, dang, this guy's a rapper. He's like the next Mac Miller or something like that. So hopefully not in the end, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, bro, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate the warm welcome and kind of crazy. Literally, we were at the gym like 2 days ago and just walked by you and then you like caught my attention and then here I am.
Yeah. Well, that's a dope sweater, bro. Where'd you get that?
I bought this at the thrift store, man. There's a thrift store over here called Red, White, and Blue, like in Hialeah. Go there all the time, buy a bunch of clothes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you're from Miami, right?
Yeah, from Miami, Florida.
How long you been rapping?
Been rapping since 2017, like dropping music. I'm 25, so it's been like 8 years, something like that.
Nice.
Started freestyling with my friends at parties in high school when I was like 15. I would write raps for fun here and there, and then I remember one night I was in my room and I was like writing a song, and I just had that like, I'm sure that we've all had like these moments of grand delusion, like, oh my God, like I could really do this. And it was rapping. I was like, oh my God, I could really do this. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, no, I can't. Like, what the hell? Like, what was I thinking? But a few months later, I hung out with one of my friends that's a good friend of mine to this day. He actually shoots all my videos. We were in his car hanging out. It's the first time we ever hung out in person. And I was like, yo, let's freestyle. So we started freestyling. And he was like, oh, like I don't really freestyle, but I write songs. Like I write raps. Yeah. So he puts on this beat. He starts rapping this song to me that he wrote. And I was just blown away. Like it was so good. I was like, oh my God, like I need to start writing raps. Like I need to start writing stuff down. So, I wrote every day for like a couple of years, and then one way or the other, I ended up where I'm at today.
That's fire, bro. And like, what was like your songs from back then? Do you use them now, like in your songs, or like, because you said you wrote music for like 2 years? Do you still use like those lyrics, or do you like, was that like a kind of preparation?
No, I mean that was just practice. I feel like I don't even know because I'm so far along now, like with the music, that it's answering these questions. It's almost like hard because I have to like remember.
Yeah.
But obviously when I started making music, I was not even close to as good as I am now. So it was just like I wanted to get better at writing songs, and I wanted to have like a sound. Like the sound of the music was the most important thing to me. So I was trying to develop my own sound.
Yeah,
that's what takes, like, in my opinion, the longest as an artist to like kind of develop your cadence and your sound. I tell people a lot that anybody can write a song, anybody can sing a song, anybody can rap a song, but if you can't do it convincingly, like nobody's gonna believe it. So,
what are some people that you look up to or listen to or like mentored you?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, basically, like, most lyrical rappers, like, I looked up to, like, I was a big fan of Logic when I was younger.
Logic's cool.
I'm a big fan of J.I.D.
Yeah, he's pretty good, too. He's with J. Cole, right?
Yeah. In Dreamville, like, I'm a big fan of J. Cole. I was a big fan. I mean, dude, like, all these artists, I'm a huge fan. Funny enough, actually, when I was younger, I didn't even listen to rap music until I got to high school. And when I started listening to rap music in high school, I was listening to, like, Migos and, like, Jeezy and like just a different, like Rick Ross. Like I was listening to like a different type of rap, and like Young Thug and Future and like all, like I was listening to a bunch of like Atlanta artists. And at some point I started listening to like lyrical rap and I was like, oh, this is super good. But it's just like, I feel like nowadays the people that inspire me the most are really like people like that I meet. Like if I'm in the studio with somebody and they're just like blowing me away with like their skills or talent, I'm like, damn, like,
yeah,
how does nobody like know who he's like? Because there's so many people. There's so many, like, even my band. Like I have a live band that I perform with my guitarist. His name is Timothy LaRock. He's not really like a huge well-known artist right now, but like, he's like the greatest fucking guitarist. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say bad words.
No, you're good.
But he's like the greatest guitarist that I've ever seen play in my life, and it just blows me away. So when I get around people like that, it inspires me. I feel like nowadays I look at other artists and it's like, I don't know, like it doesn't hit the same. Like I almost feel like, not that I'm competing with people, but it's like, I feel like I try my best not to put other artists on a pedestal for the sake of my own ego, and for the sake of not like following somebody else, like following somebody else's path. And that's like a me thing. Like, I don't think that everybody else has to do that.
You just want to be like your own artist.
I just want to be my own artist. So it's, and I have shown flashes of being obsessive in the past. So I try my best to like control that.
Exactly. Sure. What else do you do like for fun besides like rapping?
Yeah, I mean, I hang out with my friends. I like to do that. I like to go to the gym. Obviously, I like to work out. I love photography. I love videography. So it's just, for me, like, I don't really do a lot of things like for fun. I mean, maybe like going out and like drinking with my friends was something that I used to do for fun a lot until it wasn't anymore. So it kind of just, for me, like an idea of doing something for fun is kind of like, going on an adventure with my friends, or like going somewhere, going off to shoot a music video, or just like kind of
hopping on a podcast.
Yeah, hopping on a podcast, just doing something that I wouldn't typically do every day. Like just trying to implement that into my life. I feel like that's like fun to me. But yeah, I mean, for fun, and it's just, the lines get blurred so easily because a lot of the things that I do for fun are also things that I do for work. So it's like, am I really having fun right now? Maybe not. But when everything is said and done and I get to like enjoy like the thing that I created or the thing that I got done, that's fun to me.
When do you do like editing and do all that stuff?
Yeah.
So you produce your own music?
Producing my music, I don't produce everything, but I have like my first single that I put out is Lucas Home. I produced that song myself. Obviously my producer Bradley touched it a lot, but I was the one who like pulled up with the beat, and I was like, yo, I made this beat and I made the song, whatever. My next single that I'm putting out, I produced myself as well. So I do make beats. It's not like my main thing, but I do it.
Yeah.
Editing music videos, like so far, every music video that I've put out, I've edited myself. I do all the color grading. I do all the cutting. Sometimes I do the shooting, like I'll put my camera on a tripod. But to me, I find those things, like I said, I find them fun but tedious. So it's like,
yeah, it's fun. When I first started editing like my podcast, I went crazy because it was so annoying. Because like one little mistake and you have to like start all over type of thing. You learn along the way how to fix certain things, but it's crazy. Like working with the photography, like you just wish you could just make music and then comes out.
Yeah, I've always thought that way. Like I've always told myself, like, if only there was like some type of system, which I do think like implementing a system into your life, like it does make things a lot easier. But like, for example, like mastering songs is something that like me and my producer both find pretty challenging. Like it always takes us, like we'll record the song, we'll mix it down, and then when it's time to master the song, that's when stuff starts to get kind of difficult.
Yeah.
And it's always like such a bitch. Like it takes like 10 tries, and I'm going to my car and I'm coming back into the studio and I'm listening to the song on this and that and the other. And it's always like, every time that we're doing it, I'm like, dude, I never want to do this again.
Yeah.
But every time that we finish the song, I think about everything that we did to get it done. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's like part of the,
why it's so challenging,
like the journey. Yeah. I'm at a point where like I kind of subscribe to the school of thought that most things are not really out of reach. It's just more so like if you want to actually like do it. Like if you actually want to put in those hours and, spend an extra 10 hours making sure that your song sounds right before you put it out. Or even now, it's like I haven't even been putting out music as frequently as I would have liked to. One, because I've been dealing with some personal stuff this year, but also because I can be a bit of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
In like kind of like a good way, that it's like I'm not going to put out this song if it doesn't have the right video or if it doesn't have like the right rollout, because like at that point I would kind of be wasting my time. So it's just, not wasting my time, but it's like I'm forcing something onto people instead of like giving something to people that they really want. I'm like forcing them to look at something that's like maybe not finished or not exactly how I want it to be. So, that's just how I think. Like there's definitely a beauty in the struggle.
Yeah. What are some things that you do like every day to like basically like keep your music and your like creativity going?
I mean, honestly, nothing really. Like,
Yeah.
I have writer's block. Like, I get it. But writer's block is not even really a real thing. It's really more of like confidence block. I feel like that's what writer's block actually is.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could possibly do to like maintain like high morale and like make music all the time is just one, like be confident every day. Understand the fact that like I'm not an imposter. I actually did certain things or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes like you'll do something incredible, you'll look back on it and be like, was that even me? Like, how did I even do that?
Because it's been so long that, or whatever, like you put time and they're like, dang, I haven't done it in a while or something.
Yeah, so there's that. And it's just also, like just understanding that you are capable of great things and, just keeping that in mind. And just obviously, if you're writing, just try to do it every day. Because it's just, there is like a certain level of like, so there's some songs that I've written that I wouldn't have been able to write if I wasn't writing every single day, like up until that point. Because when you get in those grooves, it's like your brain is like plastic. Like there's like neuroplasticity in your brain. If you're writing every day, your brain starts to literally wire itself into like a writing brain, like a brain that writes things. So, like I said, that's the best thing you can do. Just write every day. But,
what do you think about like AI? Because people are probably making music now with AI and shit, right?
I don't know. It's funny. That's a good question though, because I have never like addressed this. I mean, I think it's all right. I think that honestly, if I was a little bit smarter myself, I would use it like in a certain way because I notice a lot of people use it nowadays. But I don't know. Like I just haven't explored. I feel like I haven't explored it enough to have an educated opinion on it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just like any other thing. I feel like it's a bit gimmicky, like in certain areas. I feel like it's kind of just one of those things where it kind of just levels the playing field a little bit. I'm less concerned about AI and more concerned about just like lack of creativity in general, like with people and things. Because I mean, funny enough, even one of the reasons why I became a rapper is because I knew that the playing field was so even. I knew, like, even back then when I was like 17, 18 years old, I was like, the bar is really low right now. Like, if there's any time to become like an entertainer or whatever, it's like right now. And along the way, I ended up becoming like really, really good at it. So I got lucky, I guess. But still, it's just like, I feel like movies are uninspired nowadays. I feel like TV shows are uninspired nowadays. I feel like photography and I feel like everything is like uninspired. That's why I was saying earlier that a lot of my inspiration comes from like just random people that I meet that are doing things. Because a lot of things at a corporate level right now are just not very interesting to me.
It's just not deep, I don't think. Because, you can just put out anything and you'll get views. Like, you could be a super ignorant rapper and be famous. Or like super dumb on Instagram and just like have 1 million followers.
Yeah, definitely. So it's just, and then you throw AI into that like mix and it just becomes this whole, like I said, it just becomes this whole thing of like, I do think it's a bit gimmicky, but like I said, that I haven't used it enough or looked into it enough to really have like an educated opinion on it. Because obviously there's certain things with it that like everyday AI, like on your phone or whatever the case may be. Like I know that can definitely be a helpful thing.
Yeah, I've been using it for like editing pictures or like creating images and stuff, like illusions basically. And one of my buddies has been using it to like write books and stuff like that. Like he'll just give it ideas, like outline it, like go deeper on this or whatever the case, and like just be putting out ebooks, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, there's stuff like that, but it's just like I said, I guess I am a bit of an old-fashioned person that I just like to, I don't know, I just like to do things. Because like I said, there's a beauty in the struggle. So it's just, for AI, the one thing that I do use it for, actually funny enough though, is when I use Photoshop, there's this like generative AI fill thing. And I've used that a bunch of times, but it's literally just to remove things like from pictures. Yeah. Like if you want to remove like a sign from a picture, you can use it like that.
That's cool. What else would you say like motivates you as far as like just being an artist, being your own person? Because I mean, being an artist is kind of like different from anything else. Because like you could be an athlete, you're playing sports with other people, but like being an artist is kind of like your own world. So how did you create that artist, I guess, within you, or was it already like there?
I don't know. I feel like maybe the way that I grew up definitely influences it for whatever reason. Maybe I felt like I wasn't heard, like as a child or something, and maybe that was why I was so like oh, like when I do this though, people listen. Like when I rap or like when I like talk, when I when I express myself in this way, I notice that people are listening. So like I like this, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
It could be that. It could also be like, it could be a lot of things. Like it's funny. I feel like something that really gets to me nowadays is just like that I'm getting older and I think differently than I used to. So it's just like I don't have like that same childlike wonder that I used to have. Like I feel like when I was younger, I just wanted to be like a famous rapper or something, and that was like all I cared about. I just wanted attention.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, it's not that I don't care about the attention, but it's more like I don't even know. Like it's more like the thing that inspires, like that gets me going is like it's almost like the challenge and like the results, and it's like this endless cycle, like this endless feedback loop. But there's like a certain vibe that you can get into that I'm not always in, where it's like you're making music, it's coming out good, you're like enjoying making the music, and you're enjoying like everything about the process and the results. And when you're in that mode, it's like it's almost like a perfect world, and that's like what I'm constantly like looking for. I'm not always in that mode, but I've been there before, and when I'm there, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, like this is why I do this. Like this is also another thing too, is like when kids hit you up on social media and they're like, oh dude, like you inspired me to like like do this or that, or you're my favorite rapper, or like I listen to you. Like when you start getting recognition, when you notice that you're like actually genuinely like impacting other people's lives, that definitely makes a difference as well. So it's just like, and you think about it, like there is like a certain like vanity thing to it as well too. Like when you play a big show and there's like 500 people there and the lights are in your face and like everything is going crazy, like there's a certain like adrenaline rush and like lights, cameras, like whatever, that's super fire too. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of just like I think for me the thing is just creating something. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy creating something, and ever since I was a kid, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be like a fashion designer. Like there was a bunch of things that I wanted to do.
Were people in your family like that?
My father is an artist. I don't really have like a super close relationship with him. Like, just because like he was like a drug addict and an alcohol addict, like with me growing up, and abusive like toward my mother and stuff. And I talk to him now, but it's like we didn't really have a super close relationship. But he's an artist. Like he's a sculptor and he's a painter. So
okay.
I imagine that's where I probably get that from.
Of course, yeah. Because, genetics does play a huge key, I believe, like, in someone's life. Like, even if you weren't even raised from your parents, like, you still... It's kind of like a monkey being raised with, a different type of animal. Like, there's always going to be...
Yeah, the big thing is nature versus nurture thing.
Yeah. What do you... When you're going to the gym and stuff like that, do you like think about the music that you're making? Like, do you write songs like in the sauna or like in the gym? Like, does that like fuel your creativity?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about the music. Funny enough, actually, like I said, when you're in that perfect like flow state world, that's all you're doing all the time.
Yeah. You don't go to the gym?
I would say right now, no, I still go to the gym just because like the gym gets your blood flowing and stuff, and I like that. But I would say right now, I'm definitely not like in that flow state. But like. It almost kind of sucks because like the negative side, when I'm not thinking about the music, I'm thinking about like how to market it and like how I'm going to shoot the next video and how I'm going to, and it's funny because it becomes this whole thing of like, I don't even like, and obviously I'm trying to like word this correctly. It's not like I don't want fans or like I don't want fame or I don't want money, but it's almost like I don't even care about that. I just want to get it done. Like I just want to get it done because I feel like you get to a certain level where like all you have to do is try. Like that's all, because you get so good at it, you become a master like at your craft. So all you have to do is try. Like you don't have to like reinvent the wheel anymore. Like you already have a system, you already know what you're doing, and then you kind of just like let the universe handle the rest. It's like, because if you're gonna innovate at any point, it's just gonna come. Like the universe will give. You open up your mind, like you're gonna receive like some type of transmission, some type of frequency.
And doing this type of stuff probably also helps you get into that state again.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And that's the whole thing too. Like they say stuff like "fake it until you make it," or like little things like that, like talking about manifestation and stuff like that. And I that's not like my entire frame of mind at all times, but like I definitely, even just for some context, like, whatever, I go by Lucas Home, and I'm doing pretty well when it comes to music now. But back in the day, I had a different artist name. I made like a little bit different type of rap, and for 5 years, I was doing that with like no success, like at all. I remember when I was like 22, I was at the Kava bar, and because I used to go to the Kava bar all the time, and I was chilling there, and I was just like, damn, like I've been making music for 5 years, and like, not that I have nothing to show for it, but it's like I'm not where I want to be at, like not even close. And like I'm looking at my followers, my streams, like all the things, and I'm like, not that that's the most important thing, but I mean, it is something. It is something. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, like. It's so hard. Like, for example, like on Spotify and Apple Music, just to get 1,000 streams, like just 1,000, which seems like a small number, is actually pretty hard. Yeah. And, or at least at the time it was. And, whatever, I didn't even have 1,000 streams on Spotify. I'm like looking at all my stuff. I'm like, yo, like, this clearly isn't working out. Like, whatever I'm doing right now is not working. So I had to, literally, I rebranded, like, to Lucas Home. I did a bunch of things. I started making different type of music.
How did you do that? Was that like, what made you, like, did you do your own rebranding, or you had like people?
Well, I mean, I had some help, but it was my idea, and I was the one that came up with the name and the stuff and the things, and like I was the one that decided. Basically, the whole idea was, like if I'm gonna make a career out of this, like I'm gonna have to like actually like try. Not that I'm not trying now, but like I don't know, like there's like a different level of trying that I'm clearly not doing. So. Basically I did that. I spent an entire year, like, just kind of, like, making a bunch of music and, like, figuring out exactly how I wanted to put it out. And within 7 months, like, when I dropped my first song as Lucas Home, it took me 7 months, and I, like, to, like, finally, like, not blow up, but, like, pop off and, like, get recognition and, like, get fans. And, like, that was when I dropped my first song that got, like, editorial playlists on Spotify, and, like, I started getting followers and like 100,000 streams and then like another 100,000 streams. And like, that was when I started like really being like, wow, like I'm like a real like artist and like rapper, and people look up to me. And like, that was when my life changed. That was literally like when my life changed, like it completely changed.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't even remember what the original question was, but.
Well, do you connect with like some rappers here? I know a few rappers.
I mean, like who?
I know, like this guy AJ. He's like AJ on the grind.
I don't know who that is.
He's like some Spanish guy, but he makes Spanish songs. I think he should have at least 1,000 on Spotify. But this other guy, Kavan or Don. I don't know if you follow him on.
Oh yeah. So I know a bunch of people in the scene. Obviously, like I've met a bunch of people, like playing shows, doing open mics, like doing all the things. Like I've met a bunch of people.
Do you network with them?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I try my best. My whole thing is that like I kind of suck at collaborating with other artists in a weird way. At least right now, like I feel like I have a hard time. And that's my fault. Like that's on me. But it's just like
doing features and stuff.
Yeah, like doing features and stuff like that. Because like I have such a specific sound, I feel like nowadays, and like sometimes people send me beats, and I just like I don't really hear myself on it, or I don't really hear myself like contributing to certain records in ways that like I don't really like to look at things as like, oh, like let's collab. Like I kind of like to
natural like
do things that make sense to me type shit. So it's like, I could be better about that though. Like I said, like that's definitely something I could be better about. But I'm very like. I would like to say that nowadays I am kind of like, and I almost hate to say this because it sounds super pretentious and like stuck up, but I am kind of like business oriented. Like I don't go out of my way to go like do something that I feel like is going to be a waste of time for me. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, there's only so many artists that I can collab with and so many people. And it's like, I have this like, the way that I see things nowadays, I feel like it's like, maybe I don't see myself being in Miami for the next 5 years or like, stuff like that. So it's like I only have so many chips that I can like put before I get up and leave or go do something else. Or like it's kind of like this whole idea of like, it's funny because it's almost like, when you're a kid, you grow up with your friends and your parents are like, oh, like you're not going to know them forever. It's kind of like a similar thing with like artists and like coming up, like being on the come up, like you're not going to know everybody forever. And obviously I want to stay as close as I can with talented people and people that I fuck with and people that I love. But it's like, the most I can do is like, the most I can do. Like, literally, the most I can do is the most.
Yeah, there's like one of my old mentors. He would say sometimes you have to get out and leave out before you can come back and help out.
Yeah, type shit. And I try my best. Like, the way that I try to give back collaborating is, obviously I do all my own videos. So, like, my boy Christian, his artist name is Define the Hero. And in my opinion, he's like one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. And I've been rapping with this kid since, the very beginning. And he's just starting to like really like rebrand and take all his stuff seriously. And I told him, like, because he's going to put out an album soon. And I told him, yo, Christian, when you start working on that album, like, I will shoot a video for you and I'll do it for free. Like, I don't care. I'll shoot it, I'll edit it, I'll color grade, like everything, like whatever you want. So, same with my boy Riggs, who's in this band called Riggs and Company. He's like incredible artist. Told him this. So it's like I do pick artists that I believe in, that I like, that I fuck with, and I'm like, yo, like if you need something from me, like I will do it for you.
Yeah, well that's cool. I mean, because Miami, we need to get like more on the map, I would say, as far as like rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
There's like a lot of LA rappers, New York rappers, Chicago.
Yeah, because people, I feel like some of these other cities, they I don't even know how to describe it, but they try. Like, they actually do try. I feel like Miami is really... Miami's a funny city. I feel like everybody, like, wants to, like, be a Z-list celebrity, and that's enough for them. And if it's not enough, like, it's weird. Like, the people here are weird. Like, they don't really, like... I feel like they just do whatever they think is the cool thing.
They don't want to try too hard. They want to seem like... I guess they don't care, but like...
Yeah, it's a strange city. So it's just like, I feel like, and this is going to sound probably corny, but I feel like I don't really fit in here that well.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling that way for like maybe like a year and a half. I've been to other cities and I see the way that they move. And obviously I'm on Instagram. I follow a bunch of people in LA and New York and stuff like that. And I just feel like, I'm not trying to call anybody out or sound like a dick, but it's just, I feel like they try harder, and that I would benefit from like being around people like that.
Of course.
That's just I guess the natural progression of the way things go, or whatever the case may be. But it's just like, I don't know. I feel like, again, like I said earlier, that I do a lot, and like at times, like I do feel like I need help, or like I do feel like I need like somebody to like direct the video for me, or do this or do that, and it's like I need someone who like really, really like knows what they're doing. So, and then obviously here in Miami, it's like the people that do that do that kind of stuff, they're like, all right, like $20,000 or whatever. It's like nobody is trying to like build stuff here. I feel like motherfuckers,
like a mastermind group.
Yeah, I feel like motherfuckers learn how to edit pictures like in one day, and they're like, all right, like these are my rates. You know what I'm saying? Like they just want to charge $1 for like something they learned how to do like in a day.
In Miami and stuff like that, But I mean, yeah, everything to be successful, you gotta have some type of like mastermind group, like working together, common goal.
Yeah, it takes a village. That's what they say. It takes a village.
Yeah, like if you're trying to be an actor, probably not the best to be in Miami. It's probably better to be in LA. If you're trying to be a rapper, probably like LA, New York, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a big scene down here for like bands and stuff, but for rap, I don't know. And like also, I don't really care that much either. It's just like again, like I'm gonna just do what I can, like what I have.
But you have the internet too, so now everything's connected. So you can market yourself well. You're gonna pop off, which you have. So just gotta do it again, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. All you gotta do is try. That's what I meant by that. That it's like you get to a point where like people are paying attention. Just try, and every single time it's like it's an upgrade. It's that, and that's I don't know. That's what I like about it. It's kind of like having it feels like when you're a kid, like you want to be a grown up so bad, and then you like become an adult, and you're like, damn, like this shit sucks. Like I don't want to do any of this stuff, and I feel like my music career is like an extension of my childhood thoughts of what it's like to be an adult, because it's like I'm doing things and I'm getting better at it every time, and I'm getting further, and I'm having failure. It's like a romanticized version of life. It's like there's highs and there's lows, but it's like it makes sense at least. Like there's some part of it that kind of makes sense to me, whereas like I could never imagine just like, and this is like no slight to anybody else that does this, because obviously for one, like I'm single, I'm lonely as hell all the time. I got no girlfriend, like no, like I'm like working all the time. But and there's a lot of people that have families and all that stuff. But like I couldn't imagine myself just like getting a job somewhere and just like working there for 50 years or whatever the case may be. So, but but then again, like I said,
what type of jobs did you do like before? Like,
I mean, for one, I told you before, I still do things like if I'm tight on money, I'll get a job somewhere, or like I'll do freelance work. But type of jobs, bro, I've done everything. When I was in high school, I worked at Starbucks for a while, so I've done barista stuff like for like in and on and off for like years. I've worked at like every fucking retail store. I've worked at a bunch of restaurants. Like my last job that I had that was full time though was I worked at a camera store, and that helped me a lot. Actually, I thought that I knew a lot about cameras, and I thought that I knew a lot about like things, but I actually really learned a lot at that place. And I was selling like like some days I would move like $30,000 to $50,000 like in a day because it was like B2B salesmanship. Like it was actually like I was getting commission, and it was like I was selling cinema cameras and stuff. So
that's cool.
And that was cool too. Honestly, like I liked working there as well. That was really cool.
B2B, you said?
Yeah, so it's like
I've done business to business too. Yeah, this was one of my first jobs. Was B2B. So I was knocking on business sales and like just selling like office supplies.
Yeah, so it was that. It was also like a retail store, so we're selling to like clients just straight up. But funny enough, like I would sell, like somebody would come in one day, like you see like this boom stand and this mic and this roadcaster, and they'd be like, "Oh, like I'm trying to start a podcast. Like, can you help me like put it together?" So then I would gather everything, and and then sometimes I need a camera too, or like this lens or that lens. So I did stuff like that a lot. Met a lot of people. Super good job for networking as well. So I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, it was cool. And obviously, like another thing, funny enough, now that I'm going off on this tangent, another thing that's very dangerous about being an artist and like locked in your room all day is like, you're not like out in the world interacting with people and like networking. And to me, networking is not even like really making connections. It's more so just like remembering how to like be social and present yourself in a social setting and like talk to people and understand that like the world doesn't revolve around you. It's like there's other things going on in this world, and like you can maybe be a part of this or a part of that or make your own thing, but like like there's a certain level of isolation that like you're gonna have to like go outside at some point. Like you can't just be alone in a room writing like for a year.
Who was that? That one artist that like teamed up with like Tyler Hero. I forgot his name.
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow. Yeah. Have you ever like met with him or anything like that?
I've never met with Jack Harlow, but
it's funny because Tyler Hero calls himself like Wonder Boy.
Oh, Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder, right? And then I saw on your Instagram it was like Wonder Boy or something.
Oh, I put Boy Wonder. Well, that's because I was wearing a Nightwing costume, and like that's Robin, like Batman and Robin. They call Robin Boy Wonder. But funny enough, Jack Harlow is from Louisville, Kentucky, which is where my mother was from. So I spent a lot of time as a kid in Louisville, Kentucky. Like growing up there, like I would go there every summer. My grandma lives there. Half my family lives there. Cool. And that's where Jack Harlow's from. So
I guess that's where he met Tyler Hero because he played at Kentucky.
Yeah, well, maybe. If he played at Kentucky, he actually played in Lexington, which is like the rival. Like it's Louisville and then UK, and like they're like hella rivals.
Okay.
But maybe that is how they met. But yeah. I always thought that was funny when Jack Harlow became like an extremely relevant rapper, and like all of a sudden Louisville became like an extremely relevant city, and I was like, damn, like that's so cool because that's where my mom's from, and that's where like not like I'm from because I'm from here, but I've spent a lot of my life like over in Louisville, Kentucky. So and over there, it's funny. He's like a god over there. I've played shows over there, and
that's cool.
I've like the last time I was there, me and my sister were out drinking on this road called Baxter Avenue, and we were like talking to this group of people, and my sister was like, "Oh, like my brother's a rapper, like all this stuff, whatever." So I end up like this huge circle. I started rapping like because I guess I like had a couple drinks, so I was like, whatever. So I'm rapping to these people, and they're like freaking out, and they were like, "Man, like that boy better than Jack Harlow." Like I don't know, but it was funny. I was like, "Yo, like this is hilarious, bro."
That'd be a cool collab.
Yeah,
like D1. You know about D1?
No, I don't.
You know about D1?
No, I'm not. Funny enough, I'm not really super tapped in on rap right now.
D1's like a conscious rapper. He like calls out a lot of like the hood rappers and stuff because they talk about like killing and drugs.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that you'd probably be into because you're.
Yeah, I mean, I'm conscious. I'm definitely a conscious rapper. I'm not one to like criticize what other people rap about. I mean, dude, honestly, funny enough, like I was making this point earlier about not really being into rap as a kid. That like I am a rapper, and I feel like this is actually my biggest this is like kind of my Achilles heel right now. That like I don't really like dive that deep into rap culture. But like for example, like Kendrick just dropped a new album, and I was listening to it yesterday, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, damn, like I could rap better than this. Not I could rap better than this, but like I have these moments where I listen to other rappers, and it inspires me to like go into my like studio or into my room and start writing raps. But I have this other thing about me where I'm just like not that into like
competing
like hip hop and like rap culture and blah blah blah. Like bro, I sit down, I play a beat, and I just say like what's on my mind. That's literally all I do. Like when it comes
to more like Russ, I would say.
Maybe, I don't know. Like I don't know if I said something similar to that before, but
you know about Russ?
I mean, I know about him.
Because he does he's kind of like his own. I feel like he's his own rapper too. Like he just does his own thing. Yeah. He makes his own music, all that stuff. He writes his own lyrics. So I feel like you kind of like share a lot of qualities with him.
Yeah, probably. I feel that way. I have my little moments where like I like to show off, and I like to like show off how good I am at rapping. So it's stuff. Yeah. So there's that, but it's also
you rap like fast, but you can also like understand what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, actually, I mean, what I tell people a lot is I'm a professional. Like I'm a professional rapper, so it's like, like I'm good at it. But it's
like the song with Lil Dicky, like professional rapper.
Oh yeah, I know. Is that the one with Snoop Dogg?
Yeah,
I know that song.
That song's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like Lil Dicky too. He's cool. So
he's different.
He's different. He's actually a really good rapper. So that's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. When I was younger, though, I was like really competitive, and I was really like trying to be the best rapper, and like I was like trying to spit bars and stuff like that. And funny enough, when I stopped doing that, I became like so much better at rapping, like in like an hour. Like the moment that I stopped like competing with other people was like kind of like a big stepping stone for me to like actually start to become a successful artist, because I kind of started stepping away from rap. Because I mean, nowadays when I make music, it's like I write a verse, I write a hook, I write a bridge, and I write another verse, and then I write the outro. Like I'm actually like writing songs that are like replayable. I'm not just like hopping on a beat and rapping for like 6 minutes straight.
Yeah.
So it's like when you write a verse, like they call it like a 16 bar verse, you start to realize like, oh shit, like I only really have to write like 45 seconds of like rap here. So like I have a lot of room to like be creative. So it's just like, but then again, I'm saying a lot of things that might also be a product of the fact that I've been doing this for years. Mm-hmm. So it comes kind of easily to me. I don't really have to like go out of my way to like prove anything, I guess,
You break it down. You break it down to the most simplest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you're like all over the place, you're like, oh, I need to make a song, and then it's just like a whole process.
That's actually like kind of exactly what I'm trying to say. So it's just, and I tell people a lot that I would rather be clever than to like be depressed or like lament over things. So it's like, I don't really feel the need to get on a song and be like, oh, I'm like this, and because I said this is what I mean by that, and what I mean by that is I mean this, and like just like completely over explain like every single little thing. I'd rather whatever, I said that the right way. But I'd rather just get on a song and put that into like 2 lines and then leave it up for interpretation. Mm-hmm. So like whatever I say, like like whatever I say, like it leaves a lot of room for like, and it's funny too because like sometimes
like because there was a Kendrick rap I was listening to, and he said like fuck the double entendre shit. Like I'm just trying to make you like feel.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. Yeah, and I'll still put the double entendres in there, but it's like again, it leaves room for interpretation. And like I've had people hit me up and be like, oh, like I love this line, and like this is what it means to me. And like obviously when I wrote it, that's not what I was trying to say at all. But I think it's cool that people are taking my lines and like kind of like vicariously like living through them themselves. So it's just like it's a different playing field. Like when you get to that level, like you automatically go to a different playing field, and it just from there, like I've heard what's his name, Rick Rubin. He says something like small artists like that their biggest struggle is like they just want to be heard, and for artists that And then like for artists that are a little bit bigger, their biggest struggle is that they know that this is going to be heard. Like they know that like somebody's going to listen to this. So, you know, I feel like that's something that I've kind of been dealing with. Like that's been my like problem where I feel like more people are listening now. So sometimes I like overthink what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or I like, I have this like, almost like unnecessary desire to make every little thing like the coolest thing that I've ever done, where it's like I don't really have to do that. But yeah. I'm sorry.
Just keep it simple. Just be you. Sometimes you try to like, I guess, think about pleasing other people and just sounding cool instead of actually being something that you thought about or like think deeply about.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you can tap into like pure careless, like trying, like get into that tip, like all my best songs that I ever wrote were just like, I was really just like I just let go and I was just like, all right, like I'm gonna just write this song, like type shit. Like I'm not gonna think about it too much. I'm not gonna whatever. And that's the whole thing, that it's like, it's crazy because it's like I feel like my biggest, obviously not like that this is like a therapy session or anything, but I feel like my biggest problem is just like control. Like I just want to control everything. And I feel like when I do look back at certain songs that I wrote and I've been like, damn, like how did I write that? And it's because I gave up control and I just let the song get written. So it's like, you know, you have to learn how to do that, like in life. Like you have to learn how to like let go of things and understand that you're kind of like an instrument of the universe, you know, like you're not really like not that you don't have free will, excuse me, but it's like there is a certain level of like you like being used as an instrument to like be spoken through, where it's like sometimes sometimes when you do go to sit down and write a song, you know, you just gotta let go and let the universe write that song through you type shit. So it's like when you get into that thing where you're thinking about it too much and you want it to be like this and you want it to be like that, like that's when writer's block pops up. That's when like I suck like pops up in your head, or like, oh, like this is too hard pops up in your head. It's like you're just like, you know, there's a modern phrase, but it's kind of older nowadays, where someone will say you're doing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're doing too much. So it's like you kind of want to get to that point where at least mentally you're not doing too much. You're kind of just doing what's coming to you. You take it as it comes.
That's what I always say, because I'm an athlete. I play sports. Like when I play sports and I'm playing pickup games and shit, like I'm always like I can always tell like who's gonna get hurt, because I'm like, yo, this guy's trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like the young kids are the ones too. Like they do it the most. Like they'll be trying to do like the craziest shit. And I'm just like, yo, this guy's trying to get this rebound too hard. Like,
are you playing? Yeah. Where do you play basketball at?
I mean, I used to play like at Amp Fitness in Pines, Pembroke Pines, because they have like it used to be a 24-hour fitness, so I had like
I had like the one court.
Yeah, so I was playing there. I play outdoors sometimes, but I try to just stick to the indoors. I've torn my ACL.
Damn.
So
yeah, the basketball court at the gym that we go to is horrible.
Yeah, even the one in Doral. Yeah. It's like a basketball court, but it's like concrete floor indoors. Like I've never seen an indoor concrete.
The floor is not even concrete. It's like plastic or something. Yeah, it's like PVC. Like there's like dents in the floor from dribbling.
And also Doral dudes, they don't know how to play basketball.
Like, yeah, type shit. I put up shots.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I put up shots in there sometimes. But I've never played a game there. I've always just put up shots.
I can't play serious with those guys. They're like soccer players playing basketball. Like, you know, they're just all over the place and shit. They're like, you know, like sometimes Hines is different.
Yeah, sometimes I play pickup in Hialeah. Like I play pickup basketball over there, and I have fun. I'm not like crazy good at basketball, but you know, I can shoot type situation.
Yeah, I played football, then I got into basketball. I'm just like fast, and I like playing defense. I play rough, and sometimes like people get mad at me. I talk shit.
That's how people are. You know, that's like I feel I've been in that situation. Funny enough, when I play in Hialeah, like I'm a pretty skinny dude myself, but like, you know, I work out, I lift weights and stuff. So sometimes when I play pickup basketball, like people try to press me about like playing too rough, and I'm like, dude, like come on, bro. Like I'm not playing rough. Like I'm just, you know, I'm a grown man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like if you're gonna body up on me, I'm gonna be physical at least a little bit. Not even try my hardest, but I've gotten into little things like that with people where they're like, oh, like you're playing way too rough. I'm like, dude, I'm not. And like I'm the furthest thing from a violent person either. So it's like I'm actually not really like trying that hard right now. And then again, there's the whole thing where if like, let's say I'm guarding somebody that's like 200 pounds, I'm not going to body up on him because he's going to destroy me.
Oh, no.
And then it's like, what am I going to do? Complain? It's like, dude, that was my choice for like getting up on a 200-pound person.
Yeah, I was playing at LA Fitness a couple weeks ago, and it was this like skinny Spanish kid, and he kept like reaching in, but like he was reaching in crazy, like he was like literally like grabbing my shoulder and like you know. So I'm dribbling the ball, like he wasn't stealing, so I just like kept stiff arming him, like, and I was literally like mushing him while I'm dribbling, and like his whole other team was like, dude, like you're playing way too rough. I'm like, bro, this guy is literally like slapping me every time, bro. Like I'm just pushing him away.
They get mad. It's funny, but
it's just fun. I mean, I like talking shit. I like it's a man's sport, you know. It's basketball, football. That's what I tell people. Like it's a contact sport. Like,
yeah, I'm a huge sports. I love playing all sports, but when it comes to watching, I love watching football. Like I'm a huge football fan.
Yeah, I love the Dolphins, but they break my heart every year.
Yeah, I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm a Bills fan. So I'm big chilling. Well, my stepdad is from Buffalo, so like growing up as a kid, you know, he was just always talking about the Bills, and he was always buying me like Bills blankets and shirts and hats and things. And you know, I mean, my whole life the Bills sucked. So you know, they just recently started being really good, like maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah,
but everybody in Miami hates the Bills. So
yeah. That's a new team to hate. We used to hate the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I used to hate the Patriots too, bro. But obviously the Bills, yeah, they kind of like own the AFC East. I mean, I think the Dolphins are pretty good though. You know, it's like, you know, when you're on the other side of it, I guess, like, I don't hate the Dolphins because I guess I don't have a reason to. But I get what you're saying. Like, I can see it. Like, if there was a team, I mean, for me, I guess it's the Chiefs. But I don't really hate the Chiefs either. I like Patrick Mahomes. You know, I like Travis Kelce. I respect athletes and shit. Like, I like them. Obviously, I would like to win one of these years. But, you know,
sure.
I think that's coming. At some point. So
yeah, I lived in Denver too. I always like Broncos were like my second team.
Yeah, now they got Bo Nix and they're balling out.
But I mean, the Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl with the Broncos. So
yeah, the Dolphins are probably going to have to end up competing with the Broncos for a playoff spot. So
yeah, exactly. That'd be cool if they both get in. Then Dolphins win. But yeah, I mean, even with the Heat, I used to hate the Lakers. I used to hate Kobe, but I love Kobe. Like after, like when high school was over, I started like loving all the players.
That's like me. I love Tom Brady now. Like I think Tom Brady's the coolest guy. But when he was in the league, I hated him. So when he played for the Patriots, I hated him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bill Belichick too. I used to hate him too, and now I like him.
Yeah, for real. I watched an interview with Bill Belichick and Pete. What's his name?
Who? Pat McAfee?
No, the coach for Nick Saban.
Oh, Nick Saban.
That was like a pretty powerful, like they did like a podcast type of thing. It was him and Bill Belichick, but yeah, we were talking about sports and all that. You played sports, or
I briefly played, like, I guess on the soccer team in high school, but I was never, I never like played organized sports, but I've always been extremely athletic. I guess I did martial arts when I was a kid too, but I've always been super athletic. Like, you know, I could do a backflip, like standing on the ground and stuff like that. And I've always been like a.
You could do that now?
Yeah, I could.
That's crazy.
Could do that now.
I can't do that shit.
But yeah. So, but I've never played like organized competitive like in a league, but I've always been into playing sports just because, like, I guess that's how I grew up, like just running around my neighborhood and like playing sports and stuff.
What sign are you?
I'm a Leo.
Leo, you into astrology?
It depends who I'm talking to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if I'm talking to somebody that's like really knows about it and they can like teach me something, then yeah, for sure. But like every day when I wake up and I do things, like I don't really consider it much.
You know, like your signs and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I know that I'm a Leo. I know that I'm a Libra moon, and I know that I'm a Scorpio rising.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a Gemini sun, Leo rising, and Cancer moon.
Yeah, and I've heard that. I know that your moon is supposed to be like
more your emotions.
Yeah, your emotional side, and I know that like your rising is supposed to be like
it's like who you are with like a mask on. Like that's who you are like to other people.
Yeah. Okay, something like that. And then I've been told in recent years, I've been told that like I definitely fit the bill, like as a Leo. But like I used to be really shy, and like I don't know, I used to have like a different way of like living life. Like I was really shy and reserved, and like to myself, I never wanted to do anything. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
So it was just
Leos tend to like I guess like the center of attention, stuff like that. Leo is like the sun, basically.
Yeah, so like I said, nowadays I've been told that I fit the bill. Like they're like, yeah, like you're such a Leo, bro. Because like obviously I play shows and I do this and I do that and I do all these things, and obviously my career is basically like get as much attention as possible and like see what happens.
Yes.
So it's like I guess that
it fits.
Yeah, it fits me well.
Yeah, I like to like correlate it because I like know my numerology, like different stuff, because there's a bunch of different.
I've heard about numerology as well. I know that I'm like a life path like 6 or something like that, but I don't really know what that means. But I know that I am.
Yeah, I got one of my buddies. He told me, got me into like human design and stuff like that too, which is kind of like another astrology. Like there's people that they even take account like the day you were born, like your born day, all that stuff. So I like to like just know it, correlate it, and then it kind of like helps you kind of just manage your ego, I feel like, because all that stuff is like ego based, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything is ego based, man. Like, I feel like, but it's okay. It's weird. Like, life is really weird, man. Like, I've been back and forth. I've been up and down. Like, I've been left and right. It's just like, you never know, like, when you're doing the right thing. Like, if you're way too passive about everything, like, yes, life becomes easier and you become more, like, mature. But at the same time, like, then you're kind of, like, depriving yourself of an opinion. Yeah. So it's like, we kind of like play characters all the time, and sometimes you can like start to become that character, which is fine. But it's just like, I ask myself that, and I'm sure a lot of other people do, just like, what am I doing? Or like, am I doing the right thing? Or like, I don't know. So it's just like, like in response to your point about like having some type of graph or some type of format to look at, which would either be astrology or like human design or numerology or whatever. For me, it's really more of just like I'm a very spiritual person in the sense that I have manifested many things in my life that I guess in a way like I never thought was possible. Like I don't know, like I remember the first time I did 1 million streams, like
that's dope,
on a song, like that was something that I like manifested. Like I remember writing that down on a piece of paper and being like, yo, like I remember actually writing that down on a piece of paper every year for like 5 years. And I remember this last year that I did it before it happened. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and it was New Year's Eve, and it was about to be 12, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, I crumbled it up, and I threw it into the fire, because I was, like, so confident that it was going to happen, that I didn't want to, like, I was like, I don't even need to keep this. I don't even need to keep this piece of paper to, like, look back on it, because it's going to happen, and, like,
it happens, yeah.
And then it happened, and when it happened, I was like, obviously I was blown away and I was so grateful, but it's like, you start, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's almost like you start, like, if you live your life in a certain way, kind of like the whole fake it till you make it thing. Like,
program your brain almost.
Yeah, you program, like, your environment to just, like, kind of work. Like, it's like things, I guess a good way to put it is that, like, things in my life, like, the amount of respect that I receive, like, from the general, like, public, like, just all these things in my life, like, it's so natural to me now, whereas before it was like every day I was like God, like why does nobody like put in respect on my name, or like why does like nobody like trust me or believe me or like this or that or whatever the case may be. And it used to bother me like so much, like I can't even, like it was like the worst thing in my life. I just felt like nobody respected me and like nobody looked at me the way that I thought, like, or whatever, I don't know. But nowadays, that's like the least of my worries, and stuff like that, like I said. So that's why, like, again, like I say, like I'm a spiritual person because I've manifested many things in life. But I've also gotten lost in that, and I've tried to, like, it's kind of like throwing a ball. If you think about it too much, it's gonna come out funny. It's like sometimes you gotta just like do things because you can, or because you would, or because you should. It's
like a basketball. When you think about taking the shot, oh, he's gonna miss it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to just do it. So it's just, that's one of my main things. I feel like obviously I'm an artist, and this is like my whole life. Like I make music, I do videos, like I do interviews, like right now, or like, I play shows, and it's just like sometimes I kind of just like forget who I am. Because
where have you played shows?
Oh, like
everywhere?
Yeah, like everywhere. You know, so I mean,
like when you got 1 million streams, it was like off one song?
Yeah, that was off one song.
And then how long did it take for you to get like 1 million stream?
It took me maybe I don't know, like a year.
That's dope.
Or less than a year, maybe 7 or 8 months.
Where, do you know the place where you got most of your streams?
Yeah, Spotify. Spotify is where I would imagine most artists get. It would be Spotify, then Apple Music, then blah 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 downwards.
I don't even use Spotify. I use Apple Music.
Yeah, Spotify is. Most people are on Spotify.
New artists use Spotify, you would say? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I use Spotify to listen to music just because I like the playlisting and the ability to get new songs from it. Because Spotify will just autoplay music sometimes, and you just find a bunch of music that you like.
That's cool.
But just by streaming numbers, because obviously I have apps to look at to see your metrics and your numbers and stuff. I noticed that obviously Spotify, you get a lot more streams.
Does it show you an area? Let's say
yeah, it does. It shows you everything. It shows you all the
people in Europe. And, what are some countries?
I mean, obviously England, it would be a big one. Australia would be a big one. South Africa for some reason, because there's a lot of people that listen to rap in South Africa. Germany, this is gonna sound weird, but I guess first world countries in Europe, that would be obviously your second. Yeah, and obviously that's also excluding Canada. Canada would really be usually most American artists, I would imagine Canada would be your second most, and then England somewhere, maybe South Africa, stuff like that.
But are there major cities in the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean Los Angeles for sure. For me, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York.
Have you gone over there?
Yeah, I've been over to LA.
Because I would probably live there at least for 3 to 6 months or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Obviously, I'm saying this on the podcast now, but that's what I've been thinking lately a lot. I might just head out to LA for maybe a year, half a year, and just kind of see how it's going over there.
You got friends?
Yeah, I got friends over there. I got producers over there. I got people that I know. So it's just maybe I do go over there and I'm nah, this is all the same shit. It's a me thing, but it's good to at least stretch your legs and start to, see. It's kind of like playing on a team. Right now I'm playing for the Miami team. Maybe I should go play for this other team and see if I'm a better fit over there.
Or collab, start doing some collabs and stuff like that with artists.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. I mean, dude, my DMs are freaking just the longest list of potential collabs that I've been hit up so many times. Yeah. That's a classic artist thing where you meet each other and you're oh, let's exchange information and whatever, and if you're lucky, you finally make that song together. But yeah, I obviously, I have infinite plans. I'm trying to figure out maybe a bit of a newer system for myself where I'm not doing. Funny enough, we were talking about sports earlier, and I was talking about the Bills. You look at someone like Josh Allen, they make a lot of jokes about him, having to be Superman, all the time. Mm-hmm. I feel that way a lot, where it's I have to, edit the video and do this and do that and do almost everything for myself. That it's I know that I would really benefit from having a team and a manager and all these things, and just, I gotta find the right people. For that, so it's just, and I'm open to it. I'm not gonna freaking lose sleep just looking for. I'll let it come to me, the same way that I ended up here. I just randomly ran into you one day, and here we are talking.
It was funny because I was on the way to the gym that day. I was because I was listening to the Kendrick album. Yeah. I was I got the mics, and so I'm gonna just start making music and shit.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The same way when you ask me, what inspired you? It's a similar thing where it's just you hear something and you're man, I don't know,
And then I meet you, I'm I want to start making music. Then I meet, just a white dude looks like me, makes music. I'm on fire.
What do they call it? Synchronicities?
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that happens. But, like I said, I won't lose sleep looking for it. But at the same time, I'm open to it. I'm open to a lot of things. So it's just kind of just one of those things with me where it's just I want to, I guess I want to try some new stuff out and see what's happening, what's going on in other places, and kind of just go from there.
Any you got a song or something that you're working on now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a bunch of music.
You have an album?
Not an album. Obviously, if I worked a little bit harder, maybe I would have one on the back burner. But I'll say I got quite a few. I have a vault or whatever. I have quite a few records in there right now. I just gotta shoot some music videos and make some calls or whatever the case may be. I had some like stuff happen with me this year. Like my mother passed away in April. She was like my biggest fan, like my biggest supporter. So, and not that it was unexpected, but it was like a whole dramatic thing in my life. And then like my cat that I've had for like 12 years, she passed away too. She got like killed by a dog. So it was like really sad. So I just had been dealing. Obviously, I'm not even trying to sound like funny about it, but it's like it kind of did really take a huge, massive toll on me. So
just like think, it's like you get internal,
Yeah, so it's like, and it's the whole thing like with a parent passing away, like you don't know what it's like until it happens, and then when it happens, for like the first couple months, you're like, bro, like I'm fine, And
you have siblings?
Yeah, I have siblings. Yeah,
5.
No, I have my sister who I grew up with, and then I have 2 half brothers that I didn't really grow up with, but I talk to them.
Yeah, I have 2 half siblings, but I pretty much grew up with them. And I have a full sister.
Yeah, my sister is literally 1 year and 10 days older than me, so we're like kind of like twins. And like I said, we grew up together.
And my sister's 2 years and 3 days older than me.
Yeah, so damn, pretty similar. Yeah, pretty similar.
Both Geminis.
Yeah, but my sister, obviously, we're both Leos. Me and my sister.
That's cool. Or she lives in Miami?
Yeah, we live together. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. What does she do?
Isabella is she's a teacher, and she's also, funny enough, she's an artist. Like she sings and she plays guitar and she plays piano. She does all these things. And
you guys made music together?
Not in the sense that we've kind of like messed around here and there with it, but it's like nothing like super like set in stone. I've like recorded a lot of music for her, stuff like that.
You should probably do it.
Yeah, I know, that's what everybody says, but like sometimes it's funny because we're siblings and she's like, obviously she's gonna watch this, but like I feel like she's always trying to like lil bro me, stuff like that. So whenever we do something and like whenever we make music, like I have this certain thing about me where like when I'm making, like I'm a cool guy and I'm super chill, but when I make music or if I'm in the studio, I do have this like thing that comes out of me where like I get serious or I get this or I get that, or like even when I'm with my producer Bradley, he's like we'll be like at each other's heads sometimes in the studio, and he'll be like, oh, like that take was horrible, like blah blah blah, like this or that, or like I don't know, it's like it gets hot, like it gets fired up sometimes, and sometimes when I'm with my sister and I start getting like that, it's like like it becomes this whole thing where I'm sure we'll figure it out though, but like that has happened before where it's like she doesn't want to hear it from me, and like she thinks that I'm having a big ego or something like that, and I'm like, bro, like you don't understand, like, and it just
that'd be cool though, because I mean she sings, plays the piano.
Yeah, she's incredible too. Like she's really, really, like she can write too. She can write songs like super well. So I've always encouraged her, like, yo, like you could be a star. I always tell her that, like, you don't even have to try, because like she's so good that I'm always telling her, like, you don't even have to try, like so, because that's how some people are, man. Like, I'm a rapper and I'm good, but I feel like I have to try, bro. Like, I'm just some white kid from Miami. Like, I have to show motherfuckers, like, yo, like, I'm like, I don't know,
but I take you serious and shit.
Yeah, I feel like some people are just that good that it's like they don't even have to try.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because you're like, damn.
I know you're like, come on, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is, and that's another thing too. That one of these days, like, I'll become like a huge artist, super successful, and I could put people on, like, for my city or my friends, and like, whatever the case may be. That's kind of like another dream of mine as well. Like when we were talking about earlier, like what inspires me, stuff like that too. Like to be able to like provide for other people, whether it's like a job or a platform or something like that. Like I look forward to stuff like that too.
You got like upcoming shows and stuff?
Right now, no, I don't actually. I just played like 4 or 5 shows in the past like maybe 2 months, so I'm kind of like taking a break just so that I can like write some more music actually, because it's been months since I really like got in the studio and like made new music. Playing shows actually is like, you gotta like rehearse with your band, and you gotta pull up to the venue and like do all these things and bring the drums and bring this and the amps and all. Like it does become like a lot.
Yeah.
It's fire because you get paid like to play the shows, and it's like usually it's only really like a 30-minute set, and you get paid like a bunch of money just for 30 minutes of your time, and then you get to like party after basically. But it is a lot though. It's a lot of stuff. So I've been trying to take a little break from that, and
what are some places in Miami?
In Miami, I mean, there's Gramps. Places that I played the Sandbox stage in Miami Beach. I just recently played at this place called Dear Eleanor in Wynwood like twice. I played at God, I'm trying to like. There's just so many places like that. I'm trying to. A bunch of breweries like that. I won't get too specific about because it's just a bunch of breweries that I played shows at. I'm trying to think.
One of my buddies, he's a chef at La Tropical.
Oh yeah, that place is super sick. And they have a huge stage outside. I haven't performed there, but I've been there before. Yeah, that place is super sick.
He's the head chef there. I can always go there. You can go there and munch out, but yeah. That'd be cool. It's a big venue.
Yeah, it is a big venue. They got the outside patio.
They got like these big ass fucking things that they brew all the beers.
And they're like bronze over there, huh? Like they're like that color. Yeah, they're huge.
Like 7, 8 of them.
Funny enough, I went there for the first time when they opened, like their grand opening, and they didn't have their like POS system set up yet, so all the beer was just free. But like, no, that's not what it was. They didn't have a liquor license. Or they didn't have like a beer license yet, so you like all you had to do was buy food, and then all the beer was free.
Oh, cool!
Because they couldn't legally like sell it to you.
That's funny.
So that was cool. I remember I went there. I must have been like 21 at the time. It was a while back.
There's another spot by there, like what is it? It's like outside.
What, the Oasis?
Yeah, the Oasis. Yeah,
the Oasis.
Have you played there?
Yeah. No, I've never played. That's like a big boy venue. Like hopefully one day soon.
Yeah.
But that's like
Larry June played there.
Yeah. That's like for like, I say like I'm talking about having 1 million streams on a song. That's maybe for someone that has like a couple million like listeners a month. Like it's a bigger spot. There's an artist named Still Woozy that I'm like a huge fan of. I saw him perform there. I saw JID and Smino perform there. I've been to a couple concerts there. It's awesome. Super cool venue.
Have you ever what is it called? Like opened for any artist?
I haven't. And that's the whole thing about having a manager that I feel like, I'm kind of within that caliber now that if I just had somebody reaching out to people, I'm sure that would happen pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I've never really even like inquired about playing a show. I kind of just get hit up like by people and they're just like, hey, like, do you want to perform here? And funny enough, one of the first questions you'll get is like, how do I get in contact with your manager? And I'm like, dude, like, I'm the manager. Like, you can just talk to me. But like I said, that's more of like
they respect you enough to ask you if you have a manager. So
yeah, but I mean, that's another thing too. Like, it's like I guess that does make sense, but a lot of the time people do stuff like that. They're like, oh, like, funny enough, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like a lot of people like unnecessarily have a manager. Like, it's like you get one of those when you need one. Like I said, like when you ask me like, oh, have I opened up for someone? That would be something that like a manager would know how to do, like get that done for me. It's like, that's kind of one of those things that it's like, I guess I could hit somebody up, but I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, please, let me perform with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but yeah, and I mean,
are you friends with any like big time rappers? Or
I don't think
socially.
I suppose. I've got people like, how they say like, who's the most famous person in your phone? Like I've got people, like here and there that I know that are like not famous, but like are well known. I've had artists like hit me up that I had been listening to since I was a teenager and be like, oh, like I like your music or I love your music or whatever, and that's cool, and that's what I tell people a lot. Like, no matter where you are, like, you never know who's listening. Yeah. Like, you never know. Like, and it's not really like, I really think that, I've been talking about all this like effort and grinding and trying and all that stuff, and that's what worked for me, and that's my whole thing. But there's people out there that, are just destined for greatness, and it's like they don't even have to be doing all this stuff. Maybe even I'm one of those people, maybe you are too, like we don't even know, but it's like, again, you never know who's watching, who's listening. Like we could go another 20 years and not make it, and then one day on a bus stop in a random day that it's raining, you're gonna meet like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like
timing,
so it's just, but I've met some people, like I've met some people and like artists that are like successful and well off and all these things, and that's another that's another thing that'll inspire you too when you start to meet people that have making a full on living off of what, and we're doing the same thing, and you're in the same room with them or you're at their house and you're just like, damn, like you bought this house with like music money, and they're like, yeah, and you're like, damn, bro, like this is like cool. This is cool. Yeah.
Same thing with like the podcast stuff too. Just like connecting with people. Eventually, you're just like, damn.
Yeah, this is where it starts. I mean, funny enough, I did a podcast like a year or two ago with these guys, and I noticed one, that their podcast is like pretty popular now, which is cool. And two, when they put me on their show, this was like back before like I had like a bunch of fans and things going on for me, and I remember they were like, "Damn, bro, like one day like you're gonna blow up, like I swear, like all this shit." And I was like, "Nah, like chill." Like I don't know, like it was weird because this was before anybody knew me, so I was just kind of like, "Yo, like thank you, but like chill out, bro. Like whatever, like it's all good. Like I just want to be on here and talk with you guys." And that's like a whole full circle thing. Like I said, I saw one of their TikToks the other day, and it had like thousands of likes, and I was like, "Oh my god, like they did it! Like they did it for real."
Oh yeah.
So they just kept at it, I guess, for like a year or two.
Yeah, man, I mean, I just like connecting with people. Obviously it's LikeMinde Mastermind. People are like-minded. We're all trying to make it, all trying to be successful, and there's like a set of principles that we all kind of follow, in different ways to like get there. So that's why I asked you, who you listen to, like any mentors that you work with, what do you like to focus on as far as like when you're growing and like creating music, and just like based like a mindset, it's all kind of like a similar mindset to get to where you want to go. So, I like to interview people that, I find interesting. I know that they're trying to, and they're on their success path, basically. And I appreciate you coming out, bro. And I know it's just a start. We're gonna definitely keep building, keep grinding, and I look forward to where we're at in the next like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh yeah, man. Anything else you'd like to say to the audience before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever. My name is Lucas Home, rapper from Miami, Florida. I'm gonna keep dropping music for the rest of my life, so that'll come. And then also, obviously, just to perpetuate the idea of just like follow your dreams, keep trying. And I guess just like don't take everything too seriously. It's like the message that I'll leave like with today type shit.
Right. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Big Kendrick.
Oh, yeah.